Sriharim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham Aparokshanubhuti Projyate Moksha Siddhaye Sadbhireva Prayatnena Bhikshaniya Muhurmuhu. Up to this we have seen that Bhikshaniya Muhurmuhu. So that thing you do again and again, whatever is your priority. And if you are not able to fix your priority, and again priority is nothing, completely based on your insecurity. Generally, one is supposed to fix priority based on understanding. But unfortunately, a common person fixes the priority based on insecurity. And when the priority is being fixed based on the insecurity, instead of overcoming the insecurity, we strengthen our insecurity. We have seen in details in the last class. So, continuing. svavarṇāśrama dharmeṇa tapasā toṣaṇāt sādhanaṁ prabhavet puṁsāṁ vairāgyādi catuṣṭayam. Now, from this verse onwards, author is trying to talk about this sadhana catuṣṭayam. We have already seen anubandha catuṣṭayam. Now comes sadhana catuṣṭayam. But interestingly, as all of you know, especially in Tattvabodha and other texts too, always sadhana catuṣṭayam begins with viveka, discrimination. Then comes vairāgya, dispassion. Then comes śamādi adi ṣaṭka sampatti, sixfold inner wealth. And finally, mumukṣutva, the desire to be liberated, desire for liberation. But this text very uniquely brings first vairāgya. So instead of vivekādi catuṣṭayam, because small things makes a big difference. So instead of vivekādi catuṣṭayam, it talks about vairāgyādi catuṣṭayam. So why does he bring vairāgya first? Because Adi Śaṅkaracharya assumes that the one who comes for Aparokshanubhuti is an adhikari. That is how assumption, okay? But most of the time assumption goes wrong. That's another point. Because, so what does he expect? So he expects that person must have gone through Veda Purva Bhaga. So what is Veda Purva Bhaga? Where karma and upasana are predominantly discussed. So that means the person is aware of what is to be done, what is not to be done. In short, the person has lived a religious life first. Then after religious life, then the person has to live spiritual life. Then after spiritual life, third one would be what? That the person must live scriptural life. There are three stages. One has to be very careful. Because, so what is the difference between this religious life and spiritual life? Please understand. In present day, people are becoming spiritual without God. Like yesterday, all over the world, people celebrated Buddha Purnima. Hey, Buddha was not in keeping with tradition. He is the person who destroyed Vedic culture. He was called a Nastika. He destroyed everything. And if a person follows Buddha, can you call that person a spiritual? Only the spirit, okay? That's spiritual, yes, perfect. That's why every yoga center will have Buddha. And I am shocked, many Swamijis writes, Happy Buddha Purnima. It is Vaishakha Purnima. It is Indra Purnima. It is not a Buddha Purnima. It is a created story. How, please understand, how this, that Christmas was being created, fabricated story. So also Buddha Purnima. Buddha was the person who was born in the same day, got nirvana in the same day, and died in the same day. Please create some stories in a better way, okay? Because why I am trying to say all of you, please be aware of all these basic fundamental things. Or else Vedanta will not enter. Vedanta will be a destructive approach for you. Either this side or that side. It doesn't work in between. This kosi means taking care of everybody. It doesn't work. However, coming back to the point. So this religious, spiritual and scriptural, these three stages I would like to highlight very carefully. A person can be a religious where the God is predominant. But person may not uplift one's own self. Because of surrounding, because of family background, because of social pressure, either you are arthi or artharthi, you are in distress or you want something. So you can be religious. But when you become spiritual, you also have to keep God in that. And keeping the God, you have to uplift yourself. And if you remove God and you want to be a spiritual present generation, it does not work. That's why I brought Buddha. Why all the so-called Western spiritual people love Buddha? Because there is nothing to do. You can do anything and everything. You can eat anything, you can drink anything, you can do everything, still you are called a spiritual person. This is called convenient approach. That is not spiritual, that is called this spiritual, okay? Then the spirituality must help you to live a scriptural based lifestyle. A religious lifestyle to spiritual lifestyle, then finally comes scriptural based lifestyle. That means all your action, all your activities must be supported by scripture. That's why we don't accept Buddhism because of this reason. Because first of all, they don't have scripture. Because they burnt all Vedas. They don't believe in Veda either. And whoever practiced Veda, they killed, they burnt them alive. It's a serious thing. However, why I am bringing this point? Adi Śaṅkaracharya expects, this is the teaching tradition, that the person must have gone through Veda Purvabhaga, means the person must have lived scripture based lifestyle. That's why he brings this point that that person will have vairāgya. He doesn't bring viveka at all. Because you can have fantastic viveka, discrimination, because you all have, okay? Especially when you go to the shopping mall, okay? Whether to buy this brand or that brand. Perfect, viveka, discrimination. It is going to expire. Let me buy it. I'll consume in 2 days, okay? That time you use perfect viveka. And of course, when you want to destroy somebody, you also use your perfect viveka, okay? Or you want to uplift somebody, also you use your perfect viveka. But where is vairāgya? If there is no vairāgya, viveka has no value. So that's why he brings vairāgya first. And when there is vairāgya, that means your viveka is in keeping with Shastra. Can you see this point? That's why he says the person can arrive at vairāgya. So he gives 3 points. So first he brings svavarṇāśrama dharmeṇa. So if you look at what is this svavarṇāśrama dharma, very simple way we will need to look at that. That means each one is supposed to perform action based on varna and based on āśrama. This is the Vedic approach. So what is varna? What is āśrama? That means person must have the knowledge. No confusion in this regard, okay? Nowadays don't ask, okay? So the one who is, there is a difference between caste and varna. Jati and varna, both are different. So varna is entirely different, jati is entirely different. One has to know this concept. However, varna āśrama means, you can say general translation, if you want to say, that varna means social order. Very carefully I am translating. And āśrama means stages of life. These two to be kept in mind. And who has to decide how it is to be done? It is done or designed by Veda. It's like when you buy a product, how to use the product? Who decides? Is it you or the company gives a, this is how you are supposed to use. And if you don't use in that way, if the product goes other way around, will the company be responsible? Sorry. It's a very simplest way. That's why Veda we consider as the book, manual book for us to live. That's why one should have Shraddha, caution in that. Not convenient Shraddha, okay? Swamiji, for me, as Bible is important, as Quran is important, as Tripitaka is important, so also Veda is important. Okay, thank you. Don't waste my time and your time, okay? Be wherever you are. It doesn't work. So here says that varna, āśrama, dharma, dharma means karma. By the performance of, so by performing the duties pertaining to one's own social order and stages of life. When we look at this, how to look at? says beautifully, if we try to understand. The first thing is called as vihita karma. Little bit karma explanation, let me get into. Vihita karma. So vihita karma means to be done activities. And they are in the form of nitya naimitika karma. So there are karma that are to be performed daily. Neither you have choice nor I have choice. That has to be done means has to be done. Then naimitika means for a special occasion. Like yesterday was a Purnima. So being full moon day, so there are certain things to be done. On new moon day, there are certain things to be done. Especially, we do Amavasya Tarpanam. On new moon day, Tarpanam has to be done to the forefathers. If these are not done, please understand, you will incur papam. If it is done, you are not going to gain anything. It's a very big concept. If you are not doing, you will incur papam. But if it is done, you are not going to gain anything. Like taking shower. By taking shower, you are not going to gain anything. Okay, it's a very bad example, but this is the truth. But if you are not taking proper shower, you know, you lose many people, at least you are stinking, okay? Will make everybody run away. And the best thing is, if you are traveling in a public transport, better don't take, shower, you can stink. So that the moment you enter, everybody will give you space, okay? That is the only gain you can have. Other than that, I don't see anything, okay? So as this, so also daily puja, daily sandhyavandanam, daily japam to be done. There are many, we have lot of things, a list. By doing, you are not going to gain anything. But if you don't do, you will incur papam called akarane pratyavaya doshamiti, technically. Now, he uses this word very carefully, that one is supposed to perform one's own varna and āśrama. Very quickest way I can explain. A brahmana mainly is adhyayana adhyapana. Keeping dharma in mind, spends more time in studying scripture and handing over to the next generation. That's why the brahmana has got right to receive dhanam, also give dhanam. Not only receiving, okay? So that's why only a person receives will not have a brahmatejam. And present generations, brahmans, they don't have brahmatejam. The brilliance of, the Brahmin, because they only know how to receive. They don't give at all. So much insecurity. However, and because of that reason, their job also to help others to do the ritual, guiding others. Whereas a kshatriya, the one who protects dharma by punishing wrong people, encouraging good people. That is the job of a kshatriya in short. And Vaishya, again, in order to protect dharma, does all sort of, this business, starting with agriculture, where this person sustains the ecosystem. That's why always becomes, supporting to both kshatriya and brahmana. And the last category, called as shudra, the one who helps all the three categories. So when these were being created, of course based on your guna and karma, then comes jati. Because this life, whatever you do, please understand, definitely based on that, next life, you will be born according to a family, according to the surrounding. That's why guna, karma accordingly. Now you are born. Now whether you are brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya or shudra, whatever it may be, then comes āśrama. So āśrama, what are they? Starts with that brahmacharya āśrama. So brahmacharya āśrama means predominantly the person is studying. That's why we consider from 6 onwards up to 24 maximum. You keep studying. Then comes grihastha āśrama. Grihastha āśrama means where you start working, taking care of all other 3 ashramas. The brahmacharis have to be taken care, vanaprasthis have to be taken care, and of sannyasis also to be taken care. So you work for everybody. Don't think that grihastha ashram means getting married is enjoying life. People, this is what every married people fails. Not because of anything, okay? Marriage is not for fun. So if you think, oh, I'll get married to have fun, that means you are wrong. This is called Western thinking. This is not Vedic thinking at all. So marriage means you should or you are ready to take responsibility. If you are willing to work like a donkey without acknowledgement, without appreciation, okay, then only you are ready or you should think of marriage, okay? Or else better don't think. That's why I notice I get a complaint about the marriage because you people did not think of this, okay? Thought, oh, marriage is very beautiful life. So there is someone to support you. Hey, nobody supports, okay? Only somebody pulls you down, okay? However, let us not get into now in details. Then comes vanaprastha, where the austerity is predominant. The person can stay alone or with the wife or husband, both of them together can stay, but they are self-sufficient without depending upon anybody or system. That is called vanaprastha life. And finally, sannyasa life, where knowledge is predominant so that you don't depend upon anybody for anything. In fact, no fear, no dependence. In fact, the person also need not stay in one place and need not do anything. So these are the called varṇāśrama vyavastha. What does it mean in short? When you follow what are the things to be done, the best thing happens that now because of vihita karma to be done action, now you will not have any sense of guilt or regret. When there is no sense of guilt and regret, that means your energy will not fall down. Your thinking will not fall down. You may have pain in body. You may get tired and exhausted, but your mind will not be low. Can you see the difference? Because once your mind becomes low, like some people say, Swamiji, I am tired. How are you tired? Are you tired in the physically or mentally? Most of the time you are tired physically. Your ego is getting tired, not you. So that you are getting tired. So that means what? You are good for nothing. Please understand, you are good for nothing. Yes, if physically you are tired, definitely you need to sleep. Take rest. But if you are mentally tired, what can you do? It's exactly like your computer has got some virus, some slows down, so you hibernate. So after hibernation, what you do when you again switch on? Yes, few minutes it works. Again, problem starts or not? Because hibernation is not going to be helpful for you. So that's why mentally getting exhausted, tired is not healthy. And that person mentally gets tired who does not follow vihita karma, who does not follow this varṇāśrama vyavastha. Is it clear? Now, after this thing says, tapasā, austerity. So by the austerity, what does austerity mean? Austerity means deciding by one's own self. Because if we look at our life, either the life is will-based or blessing-based life. Look at all situations. The situations that you are now, just ask, is it your will-based or will-pasted? Okay, we say will-pasted, means it's not based, okay? It is imposed, will-imposed. Or is it blessing-based? Suppose if it is will-based situation, then what happens to you? Definitely, your confidence increases. Whereas if it is you are blessed to have something, like I see children, okay, especially in India, overseas, everywhere, you know, these politicians' children especially, they get red carpet because happens to the child of a politician, okay? Does not earn, must have earned in previous life. That is another thing, okay? Let us not get into. So, this person is blessed to have everything. And that person will not have any confidence unless the person improves the will. So, to live will-based lifestyle, you need to adopt tapas, austerity. And to start with, for example, not to eat salt once in a week. It's a good thing. Just once in a week, not to eat salt. Looks very simple, but it's complicated, okay? Remember. It's not that easy. And one of the most important thing is, don't talk, do maunam just 1 hour in a day. And decide the time and maintain that time wherever you are. Even if you choose 5 to 6, no problem, okay? Because you sleep that time, okay? You can say, Swamiji, I want to do 4 to 5 early morning, maunam. Because I sleep, so that I respect you, I respect me. I don't have any problem. I'm not telling you jokes. And after 1 month or 2 months, I'm sure you will break that. So whatever time, just 1 hour, do maunam and see. Especially when person talks a lot. Because recently, because of Indian election, people talk, blabber, lot of things. Because somebody made a mistake, slip of tongue. So that fellow said, I am going to do upavasam, fasting. Okay, really that fellow is not. He could have said that, look, I am doing maunam for 3 days. And had he done, he would have got much more vote. We'll see whether he's going to get or not is another point, okay? However, just I am trying to say is that maunam, and nowadays another tapas, the greatest tapas present day is keeping yourself away from social media. Especially from your phone. decide every day, this is my special request to all of you, 1 hour every day, phone must not be with you. Keep phone somewhere and fix that day, time. 1 hour in a day, phone should be away from you. If you are traveling or if you are a busy person, so every day you can change. In the morning, first decision is, today, this time, 1 hour, I will not use phone. Keep phone somewhere. And most important thing is called Hari toṣaṇāt, by pleasing the God Ishvara. It's a big thing happens. What he wants to say? When Ishvara comes in your life, that's why when you become religious, automatically many things happens in your life. Because all problem happens, or you misuse your discriminative power because of insecurity, not because of anything. Whereas when Ishvara is in your life, always you relate with Ishvara, not with anybody or anything. Then what happens? You don't feel lonely, you don't feel unwanted, you don't misuse or abuse your discriminative faculty. That's why we say that bhakti is not different from karma yoga. Bhakti is not different from jnana yoga. Bhakti is not different from raja yoga. So there are different paths. Bhakti yoga, raja yoga, hatha yoga, karma yoga. You understand? Remember, bhakti is a seed. Please, we understand, a seed to sprout, we need ambience, so also bhakti. Karma yoga to continue, you need bhakti. Without devotion, you cannot have prasadavati. There is no karma yoga. And without bhakti, where is jnanam? There is no jnanam. Because bhakti is inherent. As I said, seed to germinate needs atmosphere. So bhakti is the atmosphere, it gives atmosphere. For karma yoga to continue, jnana yoga, at least jnana yogyata prapti. So that's why here is being said very carefully that Hari toṣaṇāt, because of pleasing Ishvara, means accepting Ishvara in one's own life, the person will see the growth. So when the person will see the growth, that because of that reason, this sādhana catuṣṭayam, that which begins with what? Vairāgya. From dispassion here will start happening. Because one has to understand very carefully these aspects. Or else what will happen? The person will be spending time for no reason. That's why make sure the viveka must help to germinate or help to grow vairāgya. If vairāgyam does not happen, so what is vairāgyam? So vairāgya means we translate it as dispassion. It is not hating anybody or anything. But vairāgyam, we say, that also will be seeing very carefully verse number 4. So what is that vairāgyam?